Hey everyone, I'm Nate with Outside Cleaners on Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and this is an asphalt roof shingle. I just pulled this one from the contractor's dumpster over there because I wanted to point out a few things about these shingles that I think many homeowners just aren't aware of. So first, the basics. When this was installed on a roof, we would really just be seeing the lower half of the shingle because the upper half would be covered by the shingle above it. And as the rows go up the roof, they sort of overlap like scales on a fish. The back side, or the underside of the shingle, is much less glamorous. We just have a few glue strips, none of the molded teeth, shingle teeth, and none of the grit that we saw on the other side. And that grit is really what I want to talk about. This, what we're looking at, is a form of limestone. It's a very thin layer. It's just a coating on the shingle. These grains are a little bigger than the grains of sand on our local beaches. What that thin layer of grit is doing is two things. First of all, it's given the shingle its color. It's the color that we see from the ground. You could probably order this same shingle in black or red or blue or green or a bunch of shades of gray, and the difference among those shingles is just the color of that very, very thin layer of limestone grit. The second thing that layer is doing is actually far more important. It's acting as a layer of sunscreen or a UV barrier protecting the inside of the shingle. Now, what's it protecting and why? Well, these are also called composition or composite shingles. And like the name suggests, they're actually a combination of different materials that make up these shingles. We just talked about the outer layer and what that is. The inner layer, the inside, and I'll try to zoom in so you can see this, it's basically a form of fiberglass. And fiberglass is great stuff in that it's, durable and long lasting and all that. However, it is extremely prone to damage from ultraviolet rays from the sunlight. And so, for example, that's why fiberglass boats, they're not bare fiberglass. If they are, then they're not going to last long. Fiberglass boats are either going to be painted or they're going to have a thin layer of pigmented gel coat to, again, protect the strong but vulnerable fiberglass inside. So that's basically what this outer layer of the shingle is doing. Okay, so set all that aside for a moment and let's talk about roof cleaning. That's what I do here for a living on Cape Cod. These asphalt roofs can be quite long lasting. The problem we see with them often is that they're prone and susceptible to being afflicted with organic growth. And by that I mean mosses, lichens, molds, and algae. The problem with those is that they're not just ugly, they can be quite damaging to the roof shingle. They can drastically shorten the service life of the roof shingle. Lichen, in particular, through a complex biological process, it causes the erosion of this very type of mineral that's acting as the protective outer layer of the shingle. All right, so what to do about that? Well, let's think about it in terms of a clump of weeds or grass in your gravel driveway. Obviously, you can either squirt it with a weed killer, causing it to die and shrivel up and disintegrate and disappear over time, or you can forcefully remove it. You grab it and yank it out and pull it all up and leave a hole in your driveway. With the driveway, you can obviously just sweep some pebbles in place and fill the hole. You can't do that with a roof. So that's why the folks who make these roof shingles say, do not forcefully remove this organic growth from the roof. Do not use a power washer, because that's going to take whatever damage has already occurred from the organic growth and it's going to make it far worse. It's not unlike a pothole out in the road in the wintertime. The pothole being the little damage that's been done by the organic growth. The pothole is bad enough, but if you start driving it over it with traffic and trucks and cars, that little pothole is going to be made far worse than it originally was. And it's the same idea with roof cleaning. We want to remove this stuff as gently as possible. Gently does take time. It's not an instant process. efforts to make it an instant process will measurably shorten the life of the roof. So again, I'm Nate with Outside Cleaners. My little business is out of Brewster. We clean roofs the right way. The right way is slow, the right way is gentle, the right way will not shave years of life off the roof. It'll maximize the remaining service life of the roof. We do offer an organic process using chemicals that aren't going to be detrimental to the environment. If you've got organic growth on your roof in the Mid-Cape area, I'd love to talk about what we can do to help. Thank you.